Hey, what's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist and today doing a Red Eyes Black Dragon deck profile. So I'm really excited to do this for you guys because this deck is an extremely nostalgic deck that summons out one of my favorite boss monsters of all time, the Red Eyes Black Dragon. So without further ado guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell there so you can become part of Notification Squad, and definitely check out the Patreon on the description below for all those awesome rewards, like getting your name description in a single video, getting assigned cards in the mail, and even getting to request a deck profile every single month to your Patreon. So without further ado, let's get straight on into this. So first off, we're going to be playing 3 copies of Red Eyes Black Dragon. This card is an amazing boss monster that we're going to be using for all sorts of combos in the deck. This card is absolutely crazy, and it's a really good 3-of in the deck for this build. We then play 3 copies of Red Eyes Black Meteor Dragon. This card is hands down one of the best cards in the entire build, because it has a great ability that you send a normal monster from your deck to the graveyard to special summon this card out to your side of the field as a level 7 monster, which is crazy powerful. But you basically just send Red Eyes to the grave to special summon it out. It also has a great ability during your main phase, except the turn this card was sent to the graveyard, you can banish this card from your grave to add 1 Red Eyes Fusion from your deck or graveyard to your hand, which is a crazy powerful effect to instantly get to your copy of Red Eyes Fusion. We then play 3 copies of Black Metal Dragon. Black Metal Dragon is a definite 3-of in the deck and is actually one of the best normal summons in the entire build, because it has the ability that if this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can add a Red Eyes card from your deck to your hand, and that's not a once per turn effect. You can use it multiple times per turn, as many times as you can put this card on your side of the field and get it into the graveyard. You can keep searching Red Eyes cards, which is absolutely crazy. And one of the best targets to be able to search off this card is going to be your copy of a Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon. This card is an amazing card in this build because this card is a walking monster reborn once per turn, and also it's super easy to summon to your side of the field because you can special summon this card from your hand by banishing 1 face-up dragon monster that you control, which is super easy to do in this build because you basically just normal summon out Black Metal Dragon, link it away for Striker Dragon, and then search out your copy of Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, use Darkness Metal Dragon's ability to banish Striker Dragon, and then summon out your copy of Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, and then bring back your copy of Black Metal Dragon to the field, then linking them both away for like a Hieratic Seal, which is crazy, then getting another search off your copy of Black Metal Dragon, which is insane that you get all that value for just 1 normal summon. We then play a single copy of Red Eyes Soul. Red Eyes Soul is just a good 1-of in the build. You only need a single copy of this card, but it's pretty much the hand trap for Red Eyes. If this card's name becomes Red Eyes Black Dragon while it's on the field or in the graveyard, which can be really helpful because it is a level 7, but it also has the ability if your opponent special summons a monster, except during the damage step, you can actually send this card from your hand or field to the graveyard to special summon 1 Red Eyes monster from your hand or deck, except another copy of this card, which is a great ability. It also has the effect to do some burn damage, which is really nice. We then play a single copy of Red Eyes Alternative Black Dragon. This card is a great 1-of in the deck that has a really cool ability that if this card is destroyed by battle, or if this card in its owner's possession is destroyed by an opponent's card effect, you can actually target a level 7 or lower Red Eyes monster in your graveyard, except another copy of this card, and special summon it. And if you do, and it's a Red Eyes Black Dragon that was special summoned, you actually get to double its original attack points, pushing Red Eyes Black Dragon to 4,800. Which is crazy powerful. Plus, this card is super easy to summon because if it's in your hand, you can just tribute a Red Eyes monster from your hand or field to just special summon this card out, which is an amazing effect. We then play 2 copies of the Black Stone of Legend. This card is also a really good normal summon in the build because it has a great ability that you can tribute this card to special summon out a level 7 or lower Red Eyes monster from your deck, which is a great ability just to turbo out Red Eyes cards to your side of the field. We then play 2 copies of Rocket Tracer. Rocket Tracer is really good in this deck because we do play Quick Launch in this build just to be able to summon out this card to your side of the field and link climb into other cards, but it has a great ability that quick effect. You can target a face-up card that you control, destroy it, and if you do, special summon a rocket monster from your deck, but it does lock you into dark monsters from the extract for the rest of the turn, which is fine, because the majority of the stuff we're summoning is dark anyways. But this card is great to pop cards like Boot Sector Launch, to be able to special summon an additional rocket from the deck. We then play a single copy of Rocket Caliber. Rocket Caliber is a good extender in the build because you can special summon this card from your hand to a zone a Dark Link monster points to, which is a great ability. We then play a single copy of Rocket Recharger. This card is an awesome extender for the deck, but you only need a single copy of this card. We then play a single copy of Exploder Rocket Dragon. This card is insane in the deck as a 1-of because it is a level 7 that you can summon off of Quick Launch or your copy of Rocket Tracer, which is amazing just to have a level 7 that you can basically e-telly from the deck so you can make cards like Red Eye's Flare Metal Dragon, which is amazing to be able to use with this card. We then play a single copy of Absolouter Dragon. Absolouter Dragon is just a 1-of in the deck. If you control a rocket, you can special summon this card from your hand. But the really good effect about this card is if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can add a rocket monster from your deck to your hand, which is a great ability for this card to have. We then play 2 copies of Noctovision Dragon. Noctovision Dragon is an awesome extender in the build because this card has a great ability that if a Dark Dragon monster is special summoned to your side of the field, you can actually special summon this card from your hand, and also it's a level 7, which helps you go over your copy of Red Eye's Flare Metal Dragon, which is such a cool ability about this card. We then play a single copy of Black Dragon Collapse Serpent and 1 copy of White Dragon Wyvern Buster. These cards are still good in the deck as 1 each, because you can basically banish either a dark or a light monster to summon them to your side of the field, and then when they leave the field, they search one another from the deck, which is an amazing ability, and these cards are still really good in the build, just to be able to extend your plays and get more dragons on the field. We then play a single copy of Dark Magician. Dark Magician is in here so you can go in for your copy of Red Eye's Dark Dragoon. This card is really good in the deck as a 1-of, and is the ultimate wizard in terms of attack and defense. So, that's it for the monsters, guys. Let's get into the spells. So for the spells, guys, we're going to start off with a single copy of Monster Reborn. Monster Reborn is a really good 1-of in the deck because ultimately we're trying to get out as many copies of Red Eye's Flare Metal Dragon as possible, and this card can bring back your level 7 monsters so you can go in for more copies of Flare Metal. This card is really good in the deck as a 1-of. We then play a single copy of 1-for-1. 1-for-1 is used in this deck to help you get monsters out of your hand into the graveyard so you can bring them back with cards like Monster Reborn, but also get a copy of Black Metal Dragon on your side of the field. We then play a single copy of Dragon's Ravine. Dragon's Ravine is really good in this build as a 1-of, just to help you get a dragon into the graveyard, which is just really cool. We then play a single copy of Boot Sector Launch. Boot Sector Launch is searchable off your copy of Striker Dragon, and this card is great as an extender in the build because it has some really cool abilities that basically you can activate one of these effects to special summon up to 2 rocket monsters with different names from your hand and defense position to extend your plays, or if your opponent controls more monsters than you do, special summon rocket monsters with different names from your graveyard and defense position up to the difference, which is a great ability just to extend your plays. We then play 2 copies of Red Eye's Fusion. Red Eye's Fusion is insane in this build. This card is a definite 2-of in the build. You only need 2 copies of this card in the build though, because it is searchable in the deck, but this card helps us step into cards like Red Eye's Dark Dragoon, and it's just a really cool card. We then play 3 copies of Red Eye's Insight. Red Eye's Insight does search out your copies of Red Eye's Fusion, which is amazing, and has the ability to send a Red Eye's monster from your hand or deck to the grave to add a Red Eye's spell or trap from your deck to your hand, which is really good to be able to search out cards like Red Eye's Fusion or our trap card. We then play 3 copies of Return of the Dragon Lords. This card lets us bring back a level 7 or 8 dragon monster to our side of the field, which is a really good effect because we have quite a few that we can bring back with this card, but it also has the ability of a dragon monster you control would be destroyed by battle by card effect. You manage this card from the grave instead, just to be able to protect your cards. We then play 3 copies of Quick Launch. This card is basically e-telly for your rocket monsters. Just being able to special summon a rocket monster from your deck is just so cool about this card, and it's not even a once per turn. So you can special summon out multiple rocket cards out from your deck if you have multiple copies of this card, which is amazing about this particular card. So that's it for the spells, guys. Let's get into the traps. So for the traps, guys, we're just going to be playing a single trap, and that's going to be one copy of Return of the Red Eyes. This card is like Call of the Haunted for Red Eyes, which is so cool because if you control a Red Eyes monster, except a Red Eyes Bee Chick, you can actually target a normal monster in your graveyard and special summon it, which is a really cool ability because you can even bring back Dark Magician with this card, which is why I'm playing this card as a one-of in the build. Plus, if your opponent decides to destroy this card, it has the ability, if this card in your possession is destroyed by an opponent's card effect and sent to the graveyard, you can target one Red Eyes monster in your graveyard and special summon it, which is a great ability. This card basically guarantees that you're going to get a Red Eyes card on your side of the field, which is so cool. So that's it for the main deck, guys. Let's get into the extra deck. So for the extra deck, guys, we're going to start off with 3 copies of a Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon. This card is a definite 3-of in the deck, and we even have it in every single rarity from Clash of Rebellion, which is insane. This card is so cool and is a definite 3-of in the build. This card is an amazing card that basically every time your opponent breathes, they're going to take 500 points of damage, but you can actually use this card to its full potential in Red Eyes because it has the ability that you can detach a material from this card and then target a Red Eyes null monster in the grave and special summon it, helping you bring out your copies of Red Eyes Black Dragon from the graveyard. We then play a single copy of Borreload Savage Dragon. This card is very easy to summon in the deck because your copy of Rocket Caliber is actually a tuner monster, being able to summon out this card with any other level 4. You can also use Rocket Tracer to be able to step into this card, which is amazing. We then play a single copy of Meteor Black Comet Dragon. This card is super easy to make with your copy of Red Eyes Fusion because all you have to do with this card is be able to use a Red Eyes Black Dragon plus a copy of your Meteor Black in the main deck to be able to summon out this card. And if this card is fusion summoned, you can send a Red Eyes monster from your hand or deck to the graveyard, and if you do, inflict damage to your opponent equal to half the original attack of that monster, which is a really good ability to be able to use with this card. Also, this card replaces itself, which is really cool because if this card is sent from the monster zone to the graveyard, you can target a null monster in your grave and special summon it. We then play a single copy of Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. Red Eyes Dark Dragoon is insanely powerful in this build, and it's just really easy to summon. It's a walking negate, it can't be targeted or destroyed by card effects, and it can also pop cards on the field, which is insane, doing burn damage because we are going to put vanilla monsters into this card to be able to make it. We then play a single copy of Borreload Dragon. If you summon this card out to your side of the field, you pretty much win. This card is insane. It's almost like a Link version of Dragoon, but really crazy because it cannot be destroyed by battle or by card effects. Also, neither player can target this card with monster effects, and this card can attack all monsters that your opponent controls once each. And quick effect, you can actually target an effect monster on the field and a rocket monster in your graveyard and negate the effect of that monster on the field, and if you do, you bring back that rocket monster from the grave, and that's just such a cool ability. And your opponent can't even activate cards and effects in response to this card's effect, which is insane that that's basically a speed spell to be able to just summon out a rocket and negate a card. We then play a single copy of Borrelsword. Borrelsword is just super easy to be able to go in for game in this build, and this card is really easy to make. We then play a single copy of Triple Burst Dragon. This card is amazing for its link arrows, which is why we play this card as a one-of in the build. We then play a single copy of Deliurgus Dragon. This card is super good as an extender in the build. It can actually bring itself back to your side of the field, which is really cool, just to help you link climb into all sorts of different plays. We then play a single copy of Romulus. Romulus is one of the only non-dark monsters in the extra deck, but it does search out Dragon's Ravine, so you want to play this card as a one-of. We then play a single copy of Quad Burl Dragon. Quad Burl Dragon is really good in this build as a one-of, just to extend your plays. We then play a single copy of Hieratic Seal. Hieratic Seal is really easy to make in this deck. It is a light monster, so you have to watch out for it just in case you lock yourself into dark, but usually this card is going to be summoned as one of the first cards out of your extra deck, which is really cool. But this card is an amazing one-of in the deck. We then play a single copy of Striker Dragon. Striker Dragon searches out your copy of Boot Sector Launch, making this card a definite one-of in the build. We then play a single copy of Guard Dragon Pisty. Pisty is really good to be able to use in this build as well, because this card can actually target one of your dragon monsters that's banished or in your graveyard, and special summon it to your zone that 2 or more link monsters point to, which is a great effect and super easy to do in this build. So, that's going to do it for this one, guys. This deck is an amazing deck. If you guys have never played Red Eyes Black Dragon, you should definitely give this deck a try because it's super fun to be able to play, and it's absolutely crazy how powerful Red Eyes is because this deck is just crazy powerful, and it's one of my favorite decks to be able to play with how easy it is to turbo out 3 copies of Flare Metal Dragon. So that's going to do it for this one, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification, come part of notification squad, and we'll see you guys in the next video. See you later, guys.